is Michael Gray, also known as Arglefump, and today I'm playing Nancy Drew, Midnight in Salem. Dare to play. This is game number 33 in the Nancy Drew series. It came out in December 2019, which is about 4 years, actually 4.5 years after the previous game, Sea of Darkness. So we've been waiting a long time for this game. It's finally here. We can finally enjoy Midnight in Salem. So I am going to play this game on Master Sleuth mode, but don't worry, because this is a video walkthrough, I will solve all the puzzles on both Amateur Sleuth difficulty and Master Sleuth difficulty. So this walkthrough will help you no matter which gameplay mode you will be playing.
Dear Ned, Austria has been wonderful so far. Dad called. He wants me to get an old relic while I'm here, the Book of Apologies, which dates back to the 17th century witch trials in Salem. I'll be going to Moosham Castle to retrieve it before I head back to the States. It's said to be haunted, so I'm expecting some good scares and mysteries. Ever yours, Nancy.
Cool. So we start with Nancy in Moosham Castle. Here to get a mysterious book about the witch trials.
Feels like ages since I was on my last adventure. So, are you coming in?
That's all right, Miss Drew. I'd prefer to stay out here.
Why? It's so warm and inviting in here.
Yes, I'm glad you're enjoying yourself. All of Judge Sewell's effects are there, just as your father requested. Although, I will tell you, as I told him, the desk is locked, and I don't have the key. But I will gladly stay and answer any questions you have from the other side of this door. I recommend opening the window for some light. There's no electricity here. Well, in that room at least.
Okay, so Dr. Elizabeth is too scared to go inside this room, but Nancy's not scared of anything. So, in this game, you can click to move around. If you click on the edge of the screen, you will turn in that direction. And there are some arrows, like the U-turn arrow at the bottom of the screen, that makes you spin around. And if you have a forward arrow like this one, you go forward in the direction of the arrow. Pretty self-explanatory. So you go to the window, and it looks like our cursor is now a hand, meaning we can click to open the window.
Huh, much better. What a wonderful view.
Let there be light!
Oh, great. You know, that room used to be a prison cell. Moosham Castle was the site of the most famous and violent witch trials in Austrian history. The Salzburg witch trials predate the Salem witch trials by 17 years, actually. After the incidents in Salem, Judge Sewell willed his personal effects to be preserved by whichever museum would have them. And since we are the premier historical reference on witch trials, it ended up here.
So, you've seen his Book of Apologies.
The book written by Judge Sewell? Oh, no. I've never actually been in that room.
You mind if I ask why? Is there something scarier in here than creaky floors?
Well, let's just say that ghosts exist in this castle. And if they do exist, they definitely haunt that room.
Ghosts? Can't say I've ever seen one, but they are non-corporeal by definition.
In case it's not obvious, Dr. Elizabeth is a historian. Okay, so you can right-click and move the camera around. So if you want to see the floor, you can. If you want to see the ceiling, you can. So this is useful for looking around. We've got a couple of items we can look at in this room, like this book. We can take a look at the book.
Malleus Maleficarum. Wow. The Hammer of Witches itself. Gives me chills knowing what it did.
Yes, indeed. A how-to guide for hammering out witchcraft. It was written in 1487 by a man whose name I won't even bother to mention because he used bunk science to send hundreds, if not thousands, of people to their deaths.
Malleus Maleficarum, Part 3, Second Head, Question 4. The judge should act as follows in the continuation of the torture. First, he should bear in mind that just as the same medicine is not applicable to all the members, but there are various and distinct cells for each member, so not all heretics or those accused of heresy ought to be subjected to the same method of questioning, examination, and torture as to the charges laid against them. No, but various and different means of torture are to be employed according to the various natures and persons. So we also have a hide and show text button over here. In case you don't want to read this, you can read it in a slightly different font, which is useful. That's useful. Alrighty, so what else do we have here? We have an old chest.
An old chest. But it won't open. But that's not really important right now.
Okay, I guess it's not really important. And I think we have a paper here on this desk, right here.
You said Judge Sewell was a pious man.
Yes, he believed in the healing powers of the good book. Of course, the Bible was also used to justify executing people.
Depends on who's reading it. It's often misinterpreted. Give ear to my prayer, O God, and hide not yourself from my plea for mercy. Sounds like a man full of regret.
So Judge Sewell wrote this. Give ear to my prayer, O God, and hide not yourself from my plea for mercy. Give ear to my prayer, O God, and hide not yourself from my plea of mercy. Give ear to my prayer, O God, are you even listening to me? Please give ear to my prayer. Oh, he's not listening. Okay. Well, you can turn evidence around like this. I can spin it around in a circle by right-clicking. Pretty cool. And just like before, you can left-click in order to read it. Just in case you can't read this guy's handwriting, you can read it that way. So, we can also talk to Dr. Elizabeth simply by going to the door. We walk to the door and click on it. Hi, Dr. Elizabeth, how's it going?
Dr. Hurst?
Yes, I'm here.
So, Austria's wonderful. Don't you love it here?
Austria is wonderful.
I do enjoy it here myself. I'm not from Austria. I was brought here by my work. The food is quite an experience.
The pancake soup was great.
Yes, the Frittatensuppe. The locals consider it traditional.
Oh, don't talk about Austrian food. You're just making me hungry.
How long have you known my dad?
Yeah, are the two of you dating?
Oh, Carson and I are not that close. He reached out to me because I'm the historian keeping track of all the relics here. And, as he guessed, we should have the Book of Apologies somewhere.
Lucky I was already here on vacation. I was quite surprised when he called and asked me to come. Though I have to admit, visiting a castle is something I've never been able to turn down.
Do you do these kinds of things a lot?
From time to time.
Yeah, I mean, I've been to Wickford Castle, Castle Malloy. I'm kind of a castle maniac.
What else can you tell me about the Book of Apologies?
As I mentioned, it's the book written by Judge Samuel Sewell himself, detailing the names of people accused of witchcraft. Sewell was one of the very few judges who regretted his actions. The book became his way of finding redemption. Sewell himself was originally from England, but acted as a judge in the Salem witch trials. Do you perhaps know why Carson would need such a book? Just out of curiosity, of course, it's just such a very unusual request.
He's looking into it as a favor for the current judge in Salem.
Oh.
Yep, I'm doing a special favor for Dad, who's doing a special favor for Judge Danforth.
I'll get back to it.
Take all the time you need.
we'll be meeting Judge Danforth later. So that's how you talk to characters. Basically, if you've got this dialogue bubble, you can click on the character and talk to them. And sometimes you have conversation options at the bottom of the screen that you can pick from. Okay, so enough of the tutorial. Let's get started with the puzzle of finding this book. It's right over here. You see in this corner, we have a gray cloth.
Is this Judge Sewell's desk?
Ah, yes. That desk is where he spent most of his time working when he wasn't in court. Custom made. If the Book of Apologies does exist, he would have written it at that desk.
And what's inside this alleged book?
Your father didn't tell you? It was a ledger containing all the names of the accused witches from the Salem witch trials. Judge Sewell had doubts about his convictions, and he wrote the book as a means to make amends.
Allegedly.
Yes.
Alright, so this desk is underneath that gray cloth. What you want to do is take a look at the desk. Over here on the right, we have this button that gives us a key. Woohoo! And over here we have a letter.
I found a letter. It's addressed to Abigail Hathorne Woodley.
What does it say?
I do regret to write to you in this state. I have been racked with guilt as my fervency of spirit was too great to determine a conviction just. He asks for her forgiveness, and for God's.
Dear Abigail Hathorne Woodley, I do regret to write you in the state. La 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 la. Okay. The tutorial is now covering the screen, so I can't exactly see what's going on. Let's do the tutorial. It says you can right-click on an inventory item to inspect it. So we've kind of seen this already. It gives us this three-dimensional view of an item, just like we saw earlier with those pieces of paper. So you can look at the key, turn it to the side, and click on it. That opens up the key. So now the key is slightly different. Back to this letter. I've been longing for light. Light. Notice the word light is in all capital letters. That's the clue. We want to click on this lantern. And at last I see the light. It opens up this thing. With the opened up key, we can open the drawer.
What a clever desk. It even comes with a labyrinth.
So if we do not open up the key, Nancy is unable to open up the desk, and it remains trapped forever. So this is a puzzle. Pretty simple puzzle. What you do is you move this box around through the maze. Woo, going through the maze. What you need to do is drag the box to this hole in the upper left-hand corner. And it's fairly simple puzzle. Just go up, you go left, and then you go around this corner, go left, just keep going up left.
Easy.
And there we go. Now we have the Book of Apologies.
I found it. It's here.
What? Really? Amazing!
It's locked behind some sort of cage, though. The lock says A.W. Any ideas?
A.W.? No. But I have some tools in the shop that might be able to cut it free. In my shop. I'll go. Meet me there.
Where is that? Hey, wait for me.
Hey, don't just run away and leave me alone. Hey, you get back here, Dr. Hurst. You get back here. Don't run away when I'm talking to you.
Nancy! This way!
Where is that? Dr. Hurst?
Nancy Drew, it's Deirdre Shannon.
Deirdre, can I call you back? I'm in the middle of...
Listen, I know we haven't exactly been besties in the past, but I'm in the middle of something big, and
Deirdre, I have to call you back.
Wait, don't hang up on me!
Elizabeth? Elizabeth!
Yeah, I totally hung up on her.
Hey!
What the?
What are you doing?
What? Ow!
What? The book! They took the book!
Who was that? That guy just and threw magic blue dust at me. Weird. Okay, so we're gonna chase after this mysterious hooded culprit.
Stop! Stop running!
Seriously, stop running. I don't want to keep chasing you. I'm out of shape, okay? Jeez. Okay. Well, what you want to do here is chase after the culprit. Run, 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 run. It's fairly simple. You just need to go forward. If you look left or right, you can see the scenery, which is great, but you can't go forward because this is a cliff. You can't run up a cliff. That's silliness. So, run forward through the pathway to find the culprit.
We gotta move slowly.
If I'm quiet, I should be able to sneak up on them from behind.
Come on. No, no, no!
Don't you just hate it when you're about to capture a culprit and you get spoiled by a junk call? Ugh, it's the worst. Well, let's see what the culprit left behind.
Gotta figure out which way they went. Must be a clue here.
It looks like they left behind 3 things. Over here we have a key. It's an AW key. I bet it opens the lock on the Book of Apologies.
A-W. Same as the desk.
We also have some sort of coffee can.
This canister looks to have been used as a homemade smoke bomb.
That must be how the culprit made that blue smoke appear. And finally, we have a plane ticket to Boston, Massachusetts.
A ticket to Boston. Yes, Deirdre. What is it?
You know where I am right now? Salem.
Salem? As in, witch trial Salem?
Obvi. Come on, Drew. My cousin has... well, she's gotten into some trouble here, and I thought I could help her out. But it turns out this situation is much more complicated than I anticipated. So now, I'm calling you to ask for some... guidance.
You want my help?
Ugh, yes, don't make this more painful. I could use your professional opinion, okay?
Well, it so happens that the case I'm on is connected to Boston, which is just nearby Salem. And I was never a big believer in coincidences.
Oh, are you sure?
I'd love to.
Seriously?
I thought I had reached a dead end, but it looks like I have to go to Massachusetts anyway. In any case, a fresh perspective would do me good.
Ugh, you're already annoying me, and you're not even here yet.
You're welcome. I think it might even be fun.
Oh, this is so the worst idea I've ever had. I'll pick you up from the airport.